BBC Radio Devon. Now, I was saying at the top of the programme that we were going to have two legendary musicians in the studio, and that's absolutely true, because from Little Feet, I have to say, I'm delighted that I've got Paul Barrere and also Fred Tackett here in the studio with us. Hi guys, how are you today?
We're great, Richard. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, doing wonderful.
It's
enjoying the UK.
It's lovely to have you here in the studio. Now, I hate putting labels on people, and when I was thinking about how I was going to introduce you, I was thinking, well, what sort of genre shall I put you in? And I thought, well, there's no point in me trying to put you in a genre. Why don't you tell us yourself how you see your music?
I think Little Feat's music is just Americana music. We basically play all forms of American music, whether it's rock and roll, blues, country blues, electric blues, jazz.
And obviously, as a result, you call on influences from your long careers from all those areas, I guess.
Absolutely. Every note we play influences an excellent.
Everyone we hear. Yeah, yeah. You glean a little bit from every gig you play and every musician you work with, I guess.
That's right. It's sort of a business by osmosis.
That's right. I heard this. I have a recording of a guy from way back in the 1900s, a folk singer in Arkansas, and he's explaining. He says music is like the grapevine that is never pruned. Each generation just adds a little more to what it is, and it makes it a little better. It's a little more of its time. This is an old congressman from Arkansas from the 18-something that was saying, my daddy used to tell me that. You know, and that's what it is, you know.
And is that very much the case for you guys? I mean, obviously, you know, you've been playing music for years and years and years, and, you know, do you learn something new every day, and do you feel to yourself, that's why we keep going, because there's that fresh element every day?
Absolutely, especially within the framework of Little Feat, or when Fred and I are playing together. Even though we're performing a lot of the same songs, you know, over and over, we always seem to change them, and then we always seem to, you know, find new areas to play in, and it's always a reaching and branching out experience and growing, and I think otherwise it'd become very dull and boring, and I'd probably just stay home.
Yeah, of course. But the other great thing is that you've worked with some amazing people over the courses of your careers. I mean, the Bob Seger Band, Bob Dylan, various artists from, well, well-known artists from right around the world. How does it feel from your point of view when your phone goes at home and you pick it up and there's someone quite amazing on the end? You think, hang on, this is Joe Bloggs here. How come he's got my number?
Well, we always joke and say the best part of any gig is the phone call. After that, you have to actually go and do it. But,
that's true.
But I remember when I had the just honor to work with Bob Dylan for 3 years, and as I was basically auditioning for the job, which took a period of 3 weeks of going down every day and playing with the band and with Bob Dylan, and about the second week of it, I'm kind of like getting a little annoyed. I'm driving down to Malibu and over to Santa Monica, and I'm going, this guy would make up his mind. And then this other voice came into my head and said, there are 17 billion guitar players that would die, that would go down and play with Bob Dylan every day of their life for free forever. You know, so like get a grip. Reality.
And what was it like in reality, playing alongside Bob Dylan? Was it you know, difficult at times, easy, amazing?
Well, it is all of those things, but it was very wonderful and very rewarding. I loved every minute of it, really. I really did. I know that a real strange phenomenon was the entire 3 years that I worked for him, I had a dream about him every night.
Really?
So that was the stress level, I guess, because and they wouldn't be nightmares. They would just be like, we were rehearsing and we were getting ready to go eat somewhere. And you wouldn't know it was from reality, but it was just there every night. But it was very normal. I mean, once you got past the little security bubble of Bob Dylan's world, and once you were in there, it was a real normal, just bunch of musicians playing music together.
Well, it's fantastic stories, I have to say. Now, you're playing in Exeter this evening. You're on a UK tour, and you're playing at the Phoenix in Exeter this evening. When people come along, as they will this evening, what sort of things are they going to hear from you?
You'll hear a lot of very familiar Little Feat songs, and some that are not so familiar because the band really doesn't perform them a lot. We'll do a couple of our individual songs that we've written and done on solo projects and so forth. They'll hear a lot of stories, which some are actually true. They will. To keep the mystery about
That's true. Yeah. Well, at the BBC nowadays in this country, we're not allowed to deceive anybody, as you've probably heard from the media reports over recent months. But there we go. So it's going to be a great gig when people get there this evening. But of course, when you're in Little Feat performing as that group, you know, you have everything at your disposal. It's the full band. Whereas tonight, if I understand, more acoustic, slightly more gentle. Would that be fair?
I'd say yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. You know, you don't have the power of the rhythm section that Richie and Kenny and Sam, you know, pounding out those you know, quasi rhythms that Little Feat's known for. But within the framework of what Fred and I do, we managed to spin a pretty good yarn within the framework of the songs, and it's the songs are represented in pretty much the same fashions as they were when they were written. As they were, you know, most of these songs were just written on a couple of guitars or, you know, a couple of guys sitting around, and, you know.
Okay, so we get the real experience really of how it was created.